Thanks for inviting me, Nadav. And so just so you guys know who I am a little bit, and also I was going to say thank you for sparing me from watching the beginning of the Red Sox game tonight, because I'm not sure I can take another one. It's killing me. So just so you know who I am, and Nadav gave you a little bit of background, but by day, I'm a real estate developer, and actually one of the very big, large real estate company that works in eastern Massachusetts, and I've always been a sports fan. And as Nadav said, I did a lot of coaching and was involved a lot with youth sports, but kind of always had this desire to do something involving professional sports. Always knew that's what I wanted to do. And so I've been lucky enough to find a way to both have my day job, which is a real estate developer, and also get involved a little bit in the sports world. What I was going to do tonight is tell you a little bit about some of my experiences starting a minor league baseball team and then starting a minor league basketball team, talk a little bit about the world of minor league sports. Any of you interested in getting jobs in the sports world? Is this something? Yeah, okay, great. Anybody interned in the sports world yet? Where'd you do it?
Pittsburgh Pirates.
Oh, great.
I interned with the Cape League.
With the Cape League? Oh, cool. Okay. Well, I'll talk a little bit about, which is what jobs are, and you guys can chime in a little bit. And feel free, it's not a big lecture, anytime you want to stop me, you can stop me. And I'm, more than anything, I'm just kind of a sports fan as well. Has anybody seen Moneyball yet? If you guys are all sports fans, I recommend it. I went to see it this past weekend, and it was unbelievable. Okay, so business of minor league sports. So what I want to focus more on minor leagues and major leagues. And major leagues are there, and particularly looking for jobs in the future. Major leagues are tough. Just like it is tough to break in as an athlete, it's also tough to break in as an employee. But there is a huge world of minor league sports out there, and people tend to think, hey, the only place to look are the four biggies, the four big major leagues. But there really is a lot more. Baseball is absolutely the biggest part of that. There are over 200 minor league teams across the country. It is a huge business operation. Basketball, beyond the NBA, those are the two biggest ones, the NBA Development League and the WNBA. But there are a bunch of minor leagues out there. Same thing with hockey. AHL, ECHL, and CHL, probably the three better known leagues, but there are others as well. Football doesn't really have as much of a minor league system as other sports. Arena has been probably the biggest example of it. Lacrosse, is trying to get established. Soccer, some might argue, is a major league. It's not quite to the level of the other sports. But MLS is the men's and WPS is the women's. It's actually had a good amount of involvement with the Breakers here in Boston over the years as well. And car racing, which is completely foreign to me. Some of you may be car racing fans. I'd say it's not a big thing in New England, except you can draw 100,000 people up to a car race. But car racing is a whole major league, really a whole major sport, and I probably missed a few as well. So some of these franchises, particularly in some of the WNBA and a little bit in lacrosse and soccer, are in major cities, but most of them are in small and mid markets, and I guess gives you just a sense that basically anywhere in the country you will find some level of minor league sports. I'm going to focus a little bit on baseball in the beginning, and some of these stats are pretty amazing, but major league attendance in 2010 was 73 million. And if you look back over the last 10 to 15 years, it stayed pretty flat. It hasn't fluctuated a lot. When you look at minor league attendance, 2011 was 51 million people, which is kind of a stunning number that really surprises most people, and it's almost tripled since 1985. So the number of franchises has increased, but not that dramatically, but the number of people attending minor league sports has increased a lot. I'll talk about why that is in a second. Minor league baseball games had more fans than the NFL and the NHL combined, which is, I think, another stunning number. And a lot of that is by number of teams, and it's also by the number of games that each team plays. Again, feel free, if you haven't, just feel free to interrupt me at any point. Locations of minor league baseball franchises, and this shows you that they are really clustered all over the country, a little gap in the middle, but one of the hallmarks of minor league baseball is that you're traveling by bus, and the plane transportation is prohibitive, except occasionally for some of the AAA teams. So you can see they're pretty well clustered, and the leagues are generally put together by geography as much as anything else. This slide was in 2005. I think there's roughly 20 plus more teams that have been added since then. And this doesn't include some of the Cape League and some of the other collegiate leagues that are out there. So why do fans attend minor league games? Anybody want to guess at what the attractions are?
Well, one, it's a lot cheaper.
A lot cheaper, yeah.
It's so much money. We
That's
talked
definitely
about
one of them.
in my PR class. It's cheaper for a family of four. Even like Maine Red Tornadoes up in Worcester, so I know.
Yeah.
Like it's like you get $10 for each ticket instead of what? Is it $100 for the Red Sox at least nowadays?
Yep.
And you save so much more money, and you don't feel guilty, especially for family-friendly entertainment. You don't
Yep.
feel guilty leaving after like your 8-year-old's like, I want to leave after the fourth inning because you're not losing that much money.
So there's a bunch of reasons, and first one is proximity. You saw the teams are spread out all over the place. If you don't happen to live in a major market, pretty easy to get to a minor league market and go see a baseball game. The entertainment value, and as I'll show you in a second, minor league sports is generally partially about the sport and it's partially about the entertainment. You have to provide both. People do want to see good sports, and when you're an affiliated team, you're trying to get players up to the majors. But a big part of it is the entertainment value that you're also trying to create for your fans. Access to players and coaches. Go to a Red Sox game and good luck trying to interact with Adrian Gonzalez. But go to a Worcester Tornadoes game and chances are that you'll be able to run the bases with a player or get an autograph or say hello to somebody before the game's over. So it's a whole different kind of culture you build around minor league sports, which kind of goes along with being community minded. So not to say that major leagues teams aren't community minded, because they are, but in the minor leagues, part of your marketing is getting your players out in the community all the time. Lots of times you'll be playing a game at night and your players will be doing a camp or a clinic in the morning for local kids. So that brings people to the ballpark. You mentioned the safety, family-oriented atmosphere. It's really a place where families feel very comfortable. We saw in Worcester, people felt good about dropping their preteens off to the game without parents and letting them run around and enjoy the game. So have to create that kind of family-oriented atmosphere, and the cost, which is really a huge difference. And this is just about what you said, which is there's something called the fan cost index, and the fan cost index figures out what it costs for a family of four to go to a major league game versus a minor league game. And this was done a couple of years ago, and pretty tough to find a $47 Red Sox ticket. But assuming you could, you can see that a $300 night out at the ballpark is something that is out of the reach of a good number of families to go to a major league game. You know, even finding a $25 parking space is difficult around Fenway Park. But if you go to a Tornadoes game, you know, or any minor league game, you know, this is pretty typical, an $8 or a $10 ticket. Usually kids can get in for $5, and the concessions are a lot less. So, you know, a $77 night out is more like going to the movies than it is breaking the bank and going to Fenway Park. So that's a big attraction in minor league sports. And this is a quote by somebody who, well known for owning a lot of minor league teams: if fans leave the park not caring who just won or lost, we're not doing their job. So entertainment is a huge part of what you do in minor league sports. This was a ranking of most popular minor league activities with dizzy bat races. There's no dizzy bat races. Put the bat down and you get people to circle it while the music plays, and then you pick it up and you tell them to run over there, and once you've done that a few times, you run around and you fall over and everybody laughs. But you know, these kind of things, from sumo wrestling to musical chairs. But there's a lot of entertainment that goes in. You put on a whole game presentation that involves doing something different between every half inning. So there's a big entertainment component to it.